Roughly 350,000 people a year will suffer what's called sudden cardiac arrest. Now, most people are familiar with CPR when someone has a heart attack, but Dr. Julio Panza, chief of cardiology at Westchester Medical Center, says there's a different life-saving technique we should be using when dealing with sudden cardiac arrest. He joins me now along with Drew Arthur, who actually suffered sudden cardiac arrest at age 35. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Dr. Panza, let's start with you. What's the difference between sudden cardiac arrest and a heart attack?
A sudden cardiac arrest is when the heart stops pumping blood. The heart is a pump, and its function is to pump blood throughout the body. So when there is a sudden cardiac arrest, the heart stops suddenly pumping blood, and therefore there are vital organs such as the brain that do not receive blood and therefore do not receive oxygen. A heart attack is when there's a blockage of an artery, that is a vessel that takes the blood to the heart muscle. A heart attack can be the cause of a cardiac arrest, but it's not always the case. So they're really two different things.
So why is CPR not enough, and why should we be practicing emergency cardiac care?
So CPR is the most important thing to do immediately because it is a way to maintain less than optimal, but some form of circulation by way of chest compression. Unfortunately, it does not restore the normal rhythm of the heart. And the cause of a cardiac arrest is the sudden occurrence of an abnormal rhythm of the heart that leaves the heart unable to pump blood. So you do need a defibrillator to shock the rhythm back to the normal rhythm so that the spontaneous circulation, the normal circulation of the heart is rapidly restored.
And Drew, I understand a defibrillator saved your life. What happened?
It did, yeah. So roughly 2 years ago, at around the age of 35, I had just returned from 5 days of hiking in the backcountry of Maine and was sitting at my desk and went to get up, and I suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. And luckily for me, fellow coworkers heard the sounds, and at first someone thought maybe I was doing some strange yoga breathing or something like that, but one of them, one of my everyday heroes, recognized the signs and immediately knew that I was going through a cardiac arrest and called our emergency response line. We're lucky at our Phillips location where I work that we have an emergency response team. It's made up of volunteers with not necessarily any medical background who are willing to act in the face of an emergency. And the first responders came, they started performing CPR, and then they got the Philips Heart Start AED and applied it, and within 2 shocks they returned my heart rate, and as the story goes, I apparently sat up, said I felt fine, and that I was ready to go back to work.
Oh my goodness. I mean, doctor, he sounds healthy. He just got back from days of hiking. Sounds like this can strike anywhere, so really having that AED in the workplace or school is important.
Absolutely. We spend most of our waking hours at the workplace, so this can strike you at any time without necessarily any kind of harbinger symptoms, and therefore you need to be prepared. And the best way to be prepared is to have an AED and to have workers trained in the use of an AED, which is a very simple machine to use. It talks to you, it directs you, and it will only shock the patient if there is a rhythm that needs to be shocked. In other words, there is no harm in using the machine to either the patient or to the user.
So we don't need to be a chief cardiologist to save somebody's life at work like Drew there. Thank you, gentlemen. Is there anywhere we can go for more information?
Yeah, so Philips has partnered with World Heart Federation, and we have myheartisunique.com where you can find out more information about recognizing the signs and how to use an AED.
All right, thank you so much, guys. And if you